Alright, you may be wondering why it takes so long for me to do a video. Well, it's not that I don't want to do a video, it's just that when I'm doing the editing, my hand got broken in 4 places and is still healing down in here in the wrist area, which is very painful when I go to edit for long periods of time. It just starts to ache and it makes it very difficult, and then it aches for days on end afterwards, so it makes it difficult for me to do a video. But hopefully as time goes on that'll start healing up. I have a few tricks up my sleeve that makes it a little less painful to edit for long periods of time. But what I wanted to talk to you about today was 2 subjects. One was to get an update on a new study on the Greenland ice sheet, and another new study on the wet bulb temperature. So let's start out with the Greenland study. Greenland ice sheet is melting and being replaced by vegetation. An estimated 11,000 square miles, or 28,707 square kilometers of Greenland ice sheet and glaciers have melted over the last 3 decades. Where there was once ice and snow, there is now bare rock, wetlands, and areas of shrubbery. As you can see in this picture, we have new shrubbery growing all over Greenland. Now, the wetlands that they're talking about really aren't wetlands as we know it in the temperate regions of the world. Greenland's wetlands are just delta type areas without any vegetation. Lots of meandering streams and wet areas all the time that would look like a regular wetland if it had shrubs and greenery on it, but it's too new to have anything grow on it yet. The permafrost is being severely damaged throughout Greenland, mostly on the edges, and the problem with that is that the places where humans are living is starting to settle, and their houses are starting to sink, the roads are starting to slide and crack and that sort of thing. Not to mention how much methane and CO2 is coming out of that permafrost. Greenland is the world's biggest island, around 836,330 square miles, or 2.1 million square kilometers. Most of the island is covered by ice and glaciers, and it is home to 53,000 people. Since the 1970s, the region has been warming at double the global mean rate, so it's heating up faster than most places on the planet. So that's the newest study on the Greenland ice sheet. More shrubbery, more open area, more bare rock, and less ice, and warming at double the speed of anywhere else on the planet, pretty much. This is another study, a new study. 20 degrees C, or 68 degrees Fahrenheit, seems the optimal temperature for life on Earth to thrive. So that's 68 degrees Fahrenheit is where the optimal temperature is. Any warmer and people, for example, work less efficient because releasing heat requires more energy. So the hotter it gets, the more energy it takes to release more energy out of the body, the human body. The wet bulb temperature is a measurement of the heat stress in direct sunlight, which takes into account temperatures, humidity, wind speed, sun angle, and cloud cover. Makes sense. How hot is too hot? This is where the new science is coming into play. Scientists and other observers have become alarmed about the increased frequency of extreme heat paired with high humidity. The maximum is 87 degrees Fahrenheit, or 31 degrees Celsius, at 100% humidity, is wet bulb temperature, where people can die if they get beyond that temperature. 100 degrees Fahrenheit at 60% humidity, people can die. Let's look at this new scientific chart. Now, as you can see, the red and yellow area, that line, is the breaking point. Anywhere along that line in the temperature range is where people will start to die if it gets beyond that temperature, which we are very, very close to right now. A lot of deniers are saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with global heating or the temperature rising. Yes, there is. There's wet bulb temperature. And if you go over that, people will start to die. And that's when we'll know that we're really screwed the pooch, because we went ahead and bypassed the warnings of 1.5 C, and we're now starting to see wet bulb temperatures all over the world. Now, wet bulb temperatures aren't everywhere the same. Some of the southwest will see wet bulb temperatures. Most of the eastern half of the U.S. from the Rocky Mountains eastward will see wet bulb temperatures pretty soon. The lower parts of Europe, and of course the Middle East, Northern Africa will see it, and of course a lot of Asia, China, Vietnam, Japan, a lot of that area will see wet bulb temperatures, where some places on Earth will never see wet bulb temperatures in our lifetime. Alaska, Canada, the northern part of Europe, and most of Russia will not see wet bulb temperatures. Maybe eventually they will, but not in our lifetime. So anyway, if you live anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains here in the U.S., expect wet bulb temperatures very soon. Just a couple of years to maybe a decade or so, and you'll see wet bulb temperatures. And then the deniers will be saying, why are all these people dying? Oh, it's just natural causes. There's nothing to worry about. Wet bulb temperatures have been around forever and people will die from it. You know, I can hear the excuses now. But we are really getting close now to wet bulb temperatures. Now, some more news on El Nino. El Nino is starting to wane very quickly in the Pacific. It is starting to go away, which means that maybe this summer we won't see as extreme heat as we did last summer. Hopefully it'll moderate a little bit and give us another year or so before the next El Nino. But we may end up getting a La Nina in the meantime. We don't know how good it'll cool down the planet. The last one didn't cool it down very well at all, and we ended up with extreme temperatures anyway. That's going to pretty much do it for this video. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. And I know times right now are very stressful around the world, and it's only going to get worse. And preparation will be needed pretty soon for climate change, and probably many different wars throughout the planet, as food will become scarce, as will medical supplies and drugs and that sort of thing, if we don't start doing something about climate change. The leaders of the world need to wake up, and the ones that need to wake them up are us. Right now, it's going the opposite way. People want to see more drilling, more oil exploration in each country so that they don't have to pay higher gasoline prices. But until we transition over completely to electricity, this will be the case. And it's going to be very difficult to transition over to electricity as long as the deniers have their way and continuously say that we must burn fossil fuel and don't worry about anything about global climate change. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I'd appreciate any ups and any new subscribers. And until next time.